Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I thought what we could do today is just scrap busting, like try to get rid of some of these scraps that I have. That's going to be kind of a mission. I'm going to try to maybe do like a couple Saturdays a month or something where we just make stuff using scraps, so that hopefully eventually we can kind of whittle it away. I have blue and purple here, but I may use some other stuff too. I just have a whole bunch of bases, and I'll show you guys real quick where I'm at with the journal. I am working on it, but it's at this weird phase right now because I'm waiting for this to dry. I just put this on, and I know this looks really strange, but it's not even remotely done. I will be putting other layers over the top. These are just on here to kind of show through the laces and stuff that I'm going to be putting on top for the color. So it's kind of weird right now and drying. So since I can't really work on that at the moment, I thought I would just go ahead and do some scrap busting here. So let's do an envelope. So this is just a glassine envelope that's been coffee dyed. So let's see. I could do like some other tissue or a napkin or something. Ooh, let's do, I don't know, I still have my little brown basket that I haven't even had a chance to take all the stuff out of. And I didn't get very far with brown either. Like, I usually do some further things, but I just didn't really get any further with that. I'm going to put more of that on there. Okay, just stop. We're going to just use our scraps. Okay, this is just a piece of typing paper, so I can start with that. And I'm just winging it. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's yucky here. I don't know what happened, but the weather just kind of went, eh. So, what are you going to do? It's just one of those things. So I hope you guys are doing good. Pretty quiet around here. The kids are doing loads of homework. I think they have more homework now than they did before all this happened, which is kind of funny. But we did find out that hopefully they're trying to have some sort of graduation ceremony in July so that the kids can at least, you know, wear their cap and gowns and get their diplomas, because we've already bought all that stuff, so it's not like you just be out of luck. And I really don't want Aiden's, especially if she didn't get to wear it, because their colors are gold and brown and white, but for some reason the girls' cap and gowns here are like tangerine orange, and I'm not kidding. They're seriously tangerine orange. It's awful. So, I don't know why they can't, you know, approximate some sort of gold better than that, but I guess it must be hard. I mean, I have no idea. That's not my thing, but I just want to kind of have an envelope look here. I don't necessarily love this. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. But that was good news, because at least that makes it a little better, you know. Get to have a graduation for all those years of work. This one's just really thick. I'm trying to stay on the thinner paper side here. So yeah. Was nice to hear. So yeah, I don't want to say for sure that I'll do like, you know, every Saturday or whatever, because that's just not really feasible. But definitely try to do a few Saturdays. Get rid of some of this stuff. But I didn't have much else to do today other than work, getting that journal done, and like I said, I'm just at a weird spot with it. It's hard to film that because I'm gonna stitch together a bunch of different fabrics for the cover, and that means starting and stopping all the time, and that wouldn't be much fun to watch go on. So where's my glue stick? So get these ones glued down. So yeah, get your scraps out and let's get rid of some of it. Oh, I think the color that I'll do for the color challenge for Monday, it's going to be 2 colors because neither one of them by themselves is a really great thing. I mean, you could do it, but I think I want to do black and white together. So like black and white photos, black and white paper, whatever you got that's black and white. That's what I think we will do for Monday. So find all those goodies that you might have. Can I put this down here more? Maybe tear a little bit more of this off since there's not a whole lot of anything up there. And I threw that piece away. That's the other thing. Some of this just probably needs to go in the trash. Like, I've saved such itty bitty little pieces that they're not even... I know every once in a while though you'd find a place for those, which is true, but it's just getting wacky. Wacky. I do like to have these types of things around though, because if I, when I sell something, I like to, you know, send a little something with it. And so it's just nice to have some stuff like this around. And for journals too, if I find a spot for them. Okay, let's see if we can find like a butterfly or a bird. I'm not going to make any guarantees that I'll get loads of things done today here, but we'll see how many we can do. Sort of like in the color challenge. Pretty there. So blank right there. Yeah, I kind of like that better. That's Tracy Fox. I just shrunk it way down. I think after I do this journal, I am definitely going to just do a journal that I feel like I have been wanting to do for a while. So that's going to be my next project. Not a whole lot other than that great news happening around here. Still bummed that my niece isn't going to get to have her wedding in June. I mean, who knows, like it could be okay by then, but she just has people traveling from out of state and doesn't want, you know, a lot of people don't want to fly and stuff like that, so oh, that one's a really cool one. And I got these from Artvark. And I'll try to remember to link it. I think I forgot. I realized that at like, you know, 3 o'clock this morning, I think, in the last video where I talked about these stamps. I forgot to link her Etsy, I think. I can't remember, but probably because I'm a dingling. It's a pretty stamp. And then let's see, I kind of want to do a little bit of this stamping on here with the archival ink and see if it'll stay. I probably should have done it first, but it just came to me, so. If I take another, get rid of that one. It's sticky. Sometimes these silicone stamps, it's like you gotta really get them inked up first or something. It's kind of weird. I'm just going to kind of go all over. I think it'll stay because this is a permanent ink. Let's hope. That one's really light. That was weird. Hit the edge. And I'm going to put the stamp in that upper corner, so I'm not really worried about that. I might try to kind of block this stuff down here. Try to get sort of, you know, on the edge kind of thing. You're smart, stamp it first. That way you won't have to worry about trying to cover stuff. I don't know if I want to put, maybe I could put even lighter. Don't do it, you'll mess it up. Yeah, that'll work. At least it gives it a little something right there. Okay. I love that stamp. That's Stampin' Up, but it was in a paper pumpkin, so I don't know. But they may have something, you know, kind of like that. I just haven't looked in a while. Vatican Post. That's kind of cool. Alright, and we'll do our little sort of cancellation. This is just one I have that's from that set. I've shown it a few times. I figured out it works better to stamp it off like once. Kind of do it again. I know it says postcard, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's going to need to dry. And then on this side, it just looks so cool already. Maybe we'll just stamp some of that same stamp again. Has another stamp stuck to it. Hopefully this won't just rub off. I don't think it will. Okay, yeah, it just gives it a little bit of some interest there. even take these Tim Holtz script stamps. And I'm not going to stamp this one off first because I'm just going to barely tap it here and there. I have strings hanging off me from making the doing that part of the cover, which looks very odd right now. I'm hoping it turns out the way I am thinking. I just used that tea towel, which works great. I love those tea towels for that because they're a nice thin sort of fabric, and you can fold them over the edge nicely and they'll fit under the paper that you put on the other side with the corners and all. But I wanted a little something else on there. Oh yeah? It's Pasha. Need a bite from my fingers. Wipe this off a little. Okay, that one's done. So I'm going to set it over here and hopefully that ink will all dry. Get rid of this and that. And then I was thinking I want to do some of those strips again that I showed you guys the other day. And all I did was take book page and cut it into strips. And you can cut it into whatever thickness of strip you want, you know, depending on how wide you want the scrap strip to be. Snippet strip, whatever. I think I did about 1.5 inches is what I'm going to go this way so I can see better. Because last time I didn't even look at how big I cut it. We'll do 1.5 inches. That'll work. And you still may have pieces left over that you don't use, but at least you're not just throwing away the entire book page, you know. I mean, I do throw some away just because I can't entirely use them all, but they still get used for glue and stamping and whatever else, which you would do with any other paper. So, and these pieces here will still work, even though that's missing, because it's just something to glue other pieces onto. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to start with one, like I do. And I'm just going to find whatever piece of whatever to put on there. And I know I just did this the other day, so this isn't anything new, but if you're just hanging out with me, then we're just crafting along. My husband and I went to the post office this morning and the store real quick, just grabbed a couple of things. That's the best time to go, is early in the morning, I have discovered. I mean, that makes sense anyway as far as any time, but it's nice in the morning. He's home doing conference calls and all that fun jazz again. Luckily, knock on wood, but his hospital has been, I mean, I don't want to say not busy, but he's in the OR, so everything's kind of calmed down a lot, and they just don't have a lot of cases right now because they're not supposed to be doing full-time cases. So in that way, it's been nice, especially now that they've got everything ready to go and all that, so it's not quite as stressful as it was for a while there. And these, again, are just all scraps. I don't totally know where I got all of them, so. Sometimes I don't ink all these, I just put them on like I was doing the other day. You can do it however, whatever you want to do with those. But they add just a little happiness to whatever. I was going to do it like that, huh? So you can see the purple flower would be helpful, like that. Okay. And then this will all get stitched through again too. So it's really just a whole lot like doing the collage sheets, you know, where you keep hooking up book pages. It's just you're doing the snippet roll thingy instead. And you could do it with fabric too. So either way, paper or fabric, paper and fabric, however you would want to do that. In fact, I have some fabric I could add. I have some little bits from the journal that I'm working on. Makes it a little fun. It's so funny. I was watching Gail last night, and she did that tag of the month that she does, and then the style of it was very similar because I went over to watch Rachel at Roxy Creations, and she was doing her 100-day challenge, and she had like black and white images or something like that was the challenge, and she did very similar. It just had I mean, it's not that they looked the same, they're just both the same kind of time period and stuff. It was kind of cool, which it was my favorite. I love that look of both of those pieces. If you don't watch those ladies, I mean, everybody watches them, pretty sure, but if you don't, it's Gail Agustinelli and Rachel at Roxy Creations. They do great work. Always very interesting, I think. So I'm not doing this one quite as fast as I did the other one the other day, huh? This one's turning out very pinky and stuff. I want this flower. And then I end up ripping it. I like that piece. I just need to tear this bottom a little. Sparkly paper. I don't use that a whole lot. I used to use more of it when my daughter was little because she was the sparkly glitter girl. Loved all that. Yeah, the paper on the back's really pretty too. Use a piece of that on this. Gosh, I liked anything glittery. Not super glittery anymore. Let's do another piece of this maybe. And that I got off of Graphics Fairy. It's just a ledger type page. And I used the top of it in that journal, the French journal. Cool thing about this is you could keep going, same when you're collaging, if I could talk, wow, and change colors as you go, or you know, whatever. You don't have to do like the same topic or whatever all the way through. These are just kind of fun to make. Kind of keeping our fingers crossed here that maybe our shops and things will get to open again. I don't know. Oh, purple doily. Our governor's supposed to talk today. That would be very nice if people could go back to work. I mean, you know, I know there'll be precautions, like how many people can be in a place and just all wearing masks and all that kind of stuff, but it would be nice to be able to have everything opened up again. I don't really want it hanging down too far because I know that'll just get beat up. Be better. And it'll get stitched through. Oops, I'm getting close to the end here, so let's add, I'm going to add it to the back, another strip. Pasha, you look so sad. Just laying all stretched out on my floor right next to me with his face on his paws. Are you bored? I can't use very much of that, so. Piece of this. And you just make more scraps, right, every time you tear it. I'm really not getting very far here. Feels like nothing. We need to use like giant chunks of scraps is what we need to do. Something where you don't tear them at all. You just clunk them down. I'm just not liking the whole strip, so. I was thinking some of these that got chopped off weird, these labels of, these ones were Tracy Fox. You could add that and then put another piece here. So if you're a dingling like I am and you print them out the wrong size and cut off half of them, then you can still use them. I've been using them anyway. I just use them like they're coming, you know, like they were off the page and they're coming onto the page, that kind of thing. I don't really worry about it a whole lot. Put it up this way so we definitely cover it. And what else? Not that. I'm looking in my random stash now instead of just the purple. Because I probably have something semi-purple in here. There's a piece from Denise's Digi. Spring Blooms Friendship. Really pretty digi. Might lift this a little. Go like that. Upside down. Helps if you have it the right way. Oh wait. I guess the words are all going different directions. That's probably part of my confusion. Denise hasn't done a video in a while. Hoping she's doing okay. I need to get a hold of her today. I think she's probably making masks, which I would love to do to help out. I just don't have a ton of fabric. I mean, like, people have sent me doilies, and, you know, I do have a few things. I just don't have elastic and all the other stuff. I'm not great at sewing either, but my daughter made one for my husband out of a dish towel, which, you know, that works too. I just don't have any elastic. I don't like that. Needs to have a good something to cover it up. Yeah, like something like that would be better. See, I'm thinking too hard. It was better the other day when I was just plunking it down wherever. It worked much better. We're going to have to move on to something else. As soon as I get to the end of this strip, I'll stop. And the good thing about these, too, is you don't have to back them because you're probably going to glue them down somewhere anyway. So that's kind of nice way to use these. Alright, let's see if we can find more purple stuff. That's not purple. But it'll work. Start changing the color. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I have a whole lot of purple. I guess it's not a color I work with a whole ton. I mean, I have lately, it seems like, but previously. And it's funny because it's my favorite color, but I just don't tend to make anything with it. I don't have anything in here. Some Tim Holtz though, and that's always good. Let's put a piece of this. Change the look a little bit, right? We'll put this little, I don't know what this is, like some sort of chart, arithmetic chart of some kind. Put a little bit of that there. It's changing, it's evolving. You can see it. So tell me what kind of videos you guys would like to see. Because I just want to make sure I'm doing stuff that people are interested in watching. I've kind of taken a digger in my views and stuff. And I know people have, you know, their lives are kind of turned upside down, so I understand. I just want to make sure people aren't like, oh my god, it's so boring. So yeah, just let me know what kind of videos you like. I think like YouTube, I don't really know how they do all these things because I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that, but I think they were kind of promoting my channel after Christmas time because my numbers just went crazy. Like, I mean, never before had they been, I think these are supposed to go this way, like that, you know, just climbing every day, crazy. And then it just stopped, kind of. So I'm just wondering if that was it or what. But I like this right here. I mean, it kind of does that. It all fluctuates up and down and stuff, but it's quite noticeable. I kind of had a feeling that would happen, but it would be great to boost it up a little bit again. There's a dragonfly, that's cute. I'm going to kind of tear it funny. I'm just going to tear it this way because I'll probably mess up doing it the other way. This was K and Company paper, I know, but I know you can't get it anymore, or not that I'm aware of anyway. I kind of hoarded it forever. I wouldn't use it, so it's been around for quite some time. It's so funny how you do that. So yeah, just let me know if there's something like, I don't know. It just seems like there's so much stuff that's been done, you know. It's hard sometimes to come up with new ideas, and I know everybody likes like envelope videos and those kind of things. But yeah, just anything, just let me know what you like. And I have had questions about making digis, but the problem with that is a lot of that would have to be on the computer, and like I don't do all the computer portion of my digi making. My son does the Photoshop portion. I mean, I do it with him, but so that's not, you know, and that's just a whole nother ball of wax. Like I can't teach people how to do Photoshop when I don't even know how. And I find digitals mostly on like New York Public Library, their public domain website. You have to do the public domain images because of copyright. So I do a lot of that. Biodiversity Heritage Library, and a lot of that you can get on Flickr, or you can go to biodiversityheritagelibrary.com and you know, look through books, and a lot of it is just hours and hours of looking at images and trying to find things that go together, and you know, it can be very time consuming. And so that's another reason I don't want to do it on a video, because it's not like I can just really quickly say this is what you do and you go here and click on this, and I mean, it's not like that. It's hours sometimes. So, and some nights, like last night, I was looking for stuff and never could find anything that I was looking for, and that happens quite often. So unfortunately, it's just one of those things that you have to take the time to do. The Victoria and Albert Museum, sometimes I can find, you know, a wallpaper or something that I like there, or the Met, you can find images sometimes. You just have to be super careful about the copyrights. That's like the biggest thing. And right now it's anything earlier than 1923, I'm pretty sure, or 1924 this year. Now we're up to 1924 because it's a new year. So anything before 1924 would be public domain. So you just have to take all those things into account when you're looking at images, because there are some on New York Public Library even that are like from the 60s, like fashion design images that would be great to use. But if you look down at the bottom of the page when you're looking at the picture, like when you click on the picture and you're looking at it, you can go all the way to the bottom and it'll tell you about the copyright of that image, and it will say free to use, and then you can use it to make digis and sell them. Or it'll say you have to contact them to see if you could use it. Now that doesn't mean you can't, it's just whether you want to go through the hassle of doing that. So those are just all things to think about. But really, that's what I do. I don't do anything there's like no secret place or anything that you can get information. You just gotta look for stuff for quite a while to find the public domain stuff and the images and things that go together. And I have been super fortunate that some really lovely, nice people have also given me some things that are old enough that I have been able to put into digis, and then I did have some things in my own collection that I've been able to put into digis. So you know, there's all that. So doing a video on that probably isn't something that I would do, just because it would just mainly be looking at a computer screen and you know, really you're just going to those libraries and trying to find public domain images. You can't always trust, like if you're just looking on the internet and you put in public domain images, it's sometimes really vague and hard to tell whether the things that you're looking at are actually public domain or not. So that's why I go to places like, you know, New York Public Library and Biodiversity Heritage Library, because you know, that's more reliable, that you're actually getting an image that is in public domain. You don't want to just go by some, you know, because anybody could say, hey, this image is public domain, and it's not. So you just don't, it's not worth taking a chance, basically, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to do something with one of these. I'm going to do this one. It's a pretty color. Already got a design, so that makes it a little challenging. Let me see. Those are the only ones I have here. So I want to do this. I'm looking at this, thinking I want to do this. Yeah, I think I'll do that right now. So yeah, it's it can be time consuming for sure. And I'm sorry, I'm not better at that, and I just don't know that I can show you very well. I think it's just sort of something you gotta go look and find and do and play with for a while. It's just sort of the way that works. I have no idea what I'm even gonna put on here. Just throwing stuff on it. I think it's supposed to go this way because those words are upside down, so we'll put it on this side. That. I think I have a bird. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do the digis if I didn't have my son who knows how to use Photoshop, because that program, I've tried to use it. I don't know, I don't know if I'm just thick or what, but I struggle with that. I really like that. Just need something else with it, I think. But yeah, it's not very intuitive, I will say, is my reaction to that. But I know on Graphics Fairy, this is another great resource for images. It just, you know, there's obviously stipulations when you use Graphics Fairy as far as how many of the images you can use and all that type of thing. But it's a great resource for finding images, and also they have kind of like classes on there that teach you how to use Photoshop and other things. Sorry, I'm just looking for a book page that I don't know what I did with. But yeah, they do have actual classes on there that will teach you how to use Photoshop, so that would definitely be a way to do that. This is my really old dictionary. I don't know if I want to tear that off because I really like that edge, but it has nothing on it. So other than that, I don't really know what else. There's a little fold here, so I'm just trying to accent it. But yeah, I've got like a bunch of half done digis because I'll find something and I'll think, okay, I'll be able to find more, or I'll figure out what goes with this, or I don't know. And then they just kind of sit and wait until hopefully I find something to go with them to make a whole digi out of. One of the biggest problems I find is backgrounds. Backgrounds are very difficult to find. Like, you'd think there'd be more wallpaper and things, but I have not had a lot of luck finding those in the public domain. So but yeah, sorry I'm not more information there. I just don't know how I would film that and whatever would be interesting. This doesn't rip. I always forget, but I try to rough it up a little bit. Just kind of chop it weird and then pull on it. Oh, I wanted to thank you guys for all your nice, kind wishes about my daughter and her wisdom teeth. It was definitely her wisdom teeth, and she is going to have them pulled whenever we can, you know, do that. They're just not doing it right now, but the swelling went down and stuff. She's doing okay right now, so hopefully it will, you know, hold off until we can get those removed. They're just coming through the gums and bugging her, but there's no infection, and I mentioned that before, but I know I've just had lots of people with well wishes and things, so I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Was very kind. But she's doing good now. She's not hurting or anything. So these are those seed envelopes that you can get, well, you could get last year at Target, in their like dollar spot area, and I don't know if they will have them this year. I have no idea, but you could use any little envelope, you know. These are just kind of fun to make flips out of, because you can just hook this flap onto a page and have it do that type thing. Alright, so let's get this one down first. A new sheet. Oh, I was going to put that under there, huh? Yay. Because that's going over fabric, I think I'm going to use some glitter glue here. been wanting to use these, but that seem like they never fit anywhere. Isn't it funny how you do that and then all of a sudden they just fit? It's weird. Let's see if I have a label or something that... I've just been putting some of my envelopes in here. I have a shoebox that I keep all these glassine envelopes in with stuff in them. But my most used ones I've been putting in this little box on my table because, you know, I want to be able to find them easier. So I'm digging through the entire shoebox of them. Those aren't hers. These ones are Shabby Dabby Doo Dah. Special. Special would work. Inspire, that's a good one. Special again. Oh, Bloom's good. That one seems really huge though. Oh, this one's littler. Yeah. I like that. So I guess technically those two things aren't scraps, but you know, you gotta use something with the scraps or it's gonna get real dull. Yeah, so just let me know, guys, what kind of videos you might like. The biggest thing is knowing how long to do a video, because a lot of people want them longer, but then you look at your stats and like people are only watching like 17 minutes of an hour video. So is it, well, should I keep doing hour videos? I don't know. It's very hard to decide what to do about that. I'm gonna kind of wrinkle it a little because that's what I do. Just a little. Alright, I think I need a little glue under here because that doesn't want to stay down, which, you know, happens quite often with the lace and these. I got too much glue right there. I filled up that art glitter glue and I keep forgetting, and well, I always use too much anyway, but I'm really going crazy. More under here. Let's try to just do a little. Okay, and on the back, I think I might, it's actually got lines already. You could already write there fairly easily. Let's see if we just have like a little something to journal on back there, and then you could, you know, add a journaling card and do all that. Just do a little piece of this. Don't have to do the whole thing. I don't need to tear that edge at all because that's the good edge. It's nice and brown from the coffee dye. Just a little something back there to write on. I'm not going to put it straight. have some other little something I could use back there. I just have all kinds of junk sitting up here, like little scraps of stuff that I find and use. This is Tracy Fox, but I like this little Very Truly Yours. I don't know why. So don't ask me in the comments why I put that there, because I don't know. It's fun. Doesn't have to make sense. It can, but it doesn't have to. And sometimes that's fun. I'm just going to put this little bitty piece of purple doily that got pulled off somehow by me. Because it's so pretty, the color. Alright, so that would be just a little flip on a page, and then, you know, you put a little journaling card in there. So I didn't get much done. Got 3 whole things done. This took me forever. But there's the 3 things. This one. And we didn't even get anything in there either. And then one fabric little strippy thing. I was holding it upside down, sorry. And that one. So anyway, just a little fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. And thanks for everything. We'll chat again soon. Bye-bye now.